All I think that woman has done in her entire life is served her family, served the family she was married into, served her husband, served her children, today serve her grandchildren. And I'm not even saying that there is any regret. She has done this with great fulfillment. She probably feels more fulfilled with her life than probably many people, whatever they would have achieved. That's not the question. But the question is, I know the deprivations she has deprived herself of in the entire process. You know how many of your mothers must be going through this even today, serving the food for all of you. Garam garam roti, hot dal chawal kadhi. And after everybody eats and we go into our own business, what is left over is probably what she is eating, and maybe sabji is not left. And she would not, if not enough sabji is left for you, she'll cook for you. But if not enough sabji is left for her, she's not going to cook for herself. Maybe she's just going to use achar and roll in 2 rotis and finish it off. There has never been any one of us to sit next to Amma and find out what she is eating. Papa has back pain. Mama would press it. Mama has back pain. Who in the house has volunteered to press her back for that? She has to probably spray something on her own back and lie down. Because even if you want to do it for her, she will not allow you to do. Because she thinks she is born to take care of all of you. And she feels guilty if anybody else takes care of her. Maybe Mama has a desire to go to Kashmir. Maybe she wants to go on a trip to Singapore. It has never happened because Papa feels it's waste of money. Chances are, there are a lot of things that is never part of her life because Dad did not believe it's worth it. The family did not believe it's worth it. Or she grew up in a culture where she felt guilty if she did anything for herself. I want all of you to reflect it. Now, I'm not asking you to listen to this as a philosophy. I want you to feel one with your mother and listen to what I'm saying. Culturally, it did not permit mamas to do something for herself. She would feel guilty doing it. In fact, even today, if probably anybody else in the house is sick, you know you're going to be taken care because mommy is around. It's scary even to think if mommy lies down, what will happen to the rest of the family, because we don't even know where salt is there, or sugar is there, or from where milk is coming. We don't even know that. In more than 90% of the cases sitting here, probably your mother never had the life that she deserved. Maybe many of her desires never got fulfilled, so much so that she has learned to suppress. Chances are she doesn't even communicate to you anymore. You means to anybody in the world. She doesn't even communicate what her desires are. Simple thing I'll tell you. You can reflect. Can your mother sit in front of television and keep watching something and continue to watch that after you come? Not possible. Doesn't matter what she is watching. Any one of you is sitting here, son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, daughter-in-law. What is your first move when the old lady is watching television when you come? The remote control will shift hands and you will shift to the channel you want to watch. She can either continue to sit and watch, she has to get up and go. But I don't think even that choice for her to watch what she wants, even that choice does not exist. Think about it. Can you just make that one phone call which you never fail to make to your friends in a course of the day to say hi to them? Can you just make that one phone call to your mom on a daily basis and just ask her, "Saapte amma, khana kha liya kya? How are you?" Just one. Can you, before you go to sleep at the end of the day, just give her that quality? I know there is tremendous demand on your time. Not the time to remind you. But if I don't remind you now, I don't get another time to remind you. People who cry the loudest in the funeral are always those who did not express and demonstrate their love enough when the other one was still alive. I just do not want any one of you sitting here to be the loudest one to cry in a funeral of a mother. Instead of saying all the things that you would say when she can no more hear, can you say all the things that you must say when she can still hear you? Can you go out of your way? Now, Amma says she doesn't want anything. That's what she will say. But it's not difficult for you to find out what she has sacrificed. Yes, she is definitely going to say, I don't need. In fact, when you buy 2 saris to her and give it to her, she is going to say, why are you buying all these things? I don't have even time to wear the existing saris. So why you have to buy? She is going to say, but don't you know that she is going to wear those 2 saris in the times to come and go and tell at least 100 people, my son bought it for me, my daughter bought it for me? And can we create that fulfillment? Could we do a little things? Could we probably sit and tailor make exclusive songs which your mother will enjoy and create an iPod out of it and give it to her so that she can listen to the music that she enjoys listening to? Can we invest that time and effort and do it for her? Exclusive entertainment for her? Could we probably buy another small television and add it to parents' bedroom so that they can watch? So much you're spending, one more television? And so that let them watch what they want to watch. You keep watching so they do not have to continue to sacrifice even at this age. Maybe she doesn't get excited about you talking about Singapore and Switzerland and European holiday, but probably is it going to be difficult for you to arrange for an exclusive cab and taking her to Tirupati, which she wants to go and bring her back, or to Nagur and bring her back? A pilgrimage trip which probably will mean a lot to her. Do what you have to do. Arrange what you have to arrange. Maybe she wants to just go and trek up to the Vaishnava. No, at her age she can't trek. Let's get 2 people to carry her up. Give her that experience and bring her. And for her probably that will be Jannat, that will be her salvation, that will be her fulfillment. I'm just indicating a direction to you. Probably she is one woman who has cried more for you than anybody else has cried. For the wrong reasons, can we ensure she no more cries because of us? Can we bring respect in the tone? I know you have great freedom when you speak to your mother. If and that one relationship you can't take that freedom, where will you take? But can we bring that respect and affection in the tone of our voice and the way we speak to the mother? In a single sentence, whatever years that are left, can we take care of her like you take care of an angel? Can we listen to her once before she goes? I don't remember all the ways I have cared for you all these years, but I do remember all the ways you cared for me in these years. Can we start parenting our mother rather than just reminding a child? Can we mother the mother, independent of whether you are a son or a daughter-in-law or a grandchild? Can we mother the mother? Ensure that you recognize that lady has not got the life she probably deserved, and you're going to do everything in your capacity in the days ahead of you in gifting her a life that she truly deserves.